And then once you do an acknowledge, then they kind of turn this tan color. That just means it's still an alarm. It hasn't cleared yet, but somebody has physically acknowledged it.
Let's say the heat pump, like this 4, is that the 4 heat pumps that we?
Yeah, these 4 guys seem to be kind of habitual as far as needing a reset. And
one of them was 25, 39.
Yeah, 39.
1, 2, 3, and 39.
E7, 1, E4, 2, and E4, 3. 1, 4,
25 is one of them.
back to normal. Things to be done.
So you guys are still trying to figure out why those didn't reset a lot?
Yeah. That's, it's not part of the DAS, it's a tool.
Fun to keep on itself. Okay.
And then the rest of it is pretty much just floor plans. Anything that's got a green box under it, that's one that has a CO2 sensor. So you can see the temperature and the CO2 of that particular zone. And then if you just click on the temperature or the CO2, it'll take you to the graphic page of that particular unit that you want to look at. And like I said, they're all pretty much the same. The CO2 heat pumps, you can see that it's got the outside air damper position. The units that do not have CO2, it just has a fixed damper with a little note that it's a fixed position. And then the econ units, these guys here, the E7-1. So you can see that one's got an outside air damper position on it as well. However, these are actually using the outside air damper positions to cool. And I think all of these are in electrical closets that, or I'm sorry, the IT closets that I think they were just wanting to not use the compressor as much because they're going to be dealing with this time.
Yeah, and also I wanted that so I have a backup in case something went down. I could just force outside air in there. So let's say the compressor went down. How would I do that? Open that outside air damper and turn the fan on.
Yeah, the outside air damper right now is already open.
But if I right click on it, I can override that?
Yes.
Okay. And can I turn the fan on manually as well? No.
Typically when they go down an alarm, the fan actually stays on.
Okay.
But that's not to say that it just doesn't communicate or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, there isn't a way to do that.
Okay.
The reset button, now that we have one that's actually an alarm, I'm going to reset it. Sometimes you got to hit it 2 or 3 times and just let it clear itself. Just like when we did the override on the unit that's in here, it took it a little bit for it to take. So it's going to do the same thing. You'll see, first thing will happen is this emergency shutdown will turn on, which it already has. So I know it's getting ready to reset itself.
Okay.
And then it'll reset here shortly.
So what makes the decision on that outside air damper when it's open and closed?
Basically, what they had us do is the heat pumps themselves have 2 positions of cooling. So they have like a Y1, Y2, like a standard thermostat does. And basically, they had us do the cooling call, rewire it to Y2, and then we're almost just doing Y1 as as stage one, which would be the economizer. But we do have a physical temperature sensor in there that monitors that space as well. It's an actual Honeywell sensor.
Okay.
And then the heat pump itself has a sensor as well. So we tried kind of getting them calibrated together.
Okay.
And then when this guy wants to start cooling, we run the economizer, and then it makes the decision to go second stage cooling, which is physically the compressor.
So if it's in second stage cooling, does it close that outside air damper? No.
No, the outside air damper will stay open as long as outside air temperature is viable enough to cool.
Okay, so if the outside air temperature goes over, what is it, 75? Then it
Yeah,
shuts.
whatever space temperature is, it's going to be what it shows. Yeah.
What about,
It's actually a straight stick set point of 70 now.
okay, so it's on. Is there anything that can close it if, like, say it's 30 below, and we don't really want to pull 30 below area?
Yeah, there's a minimum damper position here, but there isn't anything, because I can't see the air actually coming in,
So you don't-
after it gets
Okay.
mixed. So we really don't know that. I guess we'll have to experiment with it once we have once we get a good cold day
Yeah.
and see how these guys do. But we really don't have anything that monitors temperature on the incoming side. So
If we hit that coil with 30 below air on that compressor, is that going to damage
I
it?
don't think you will, because I was thinking that the damper will make up there. Your damper is set for your outside air, and the ones that are, the one with the CO2 sensors are fixed.
Yeah.
So you can't get rid of those.
Yeah.
Those are going whatever it's set. So I think, I'll double check this, but I think dampers and outside air can make up areas, we have laws with it too.
Yeah.
So if you need to, if you're getting too cold and you want to check that outside air damper, you know what you're going to do, you're going to just return that air. Right?
Yeah, I just don't want to damage that coil by doing anything, so, but it won't get damaged. If something did go weird, that thing, we're pulling in really cold air.
Maybe you're going to get alarm to freeze it. And make up area.
Yeah, but this isn't coming through the makeup area, that outside air.
You're going to get that freeze right away.
Oh, because it'll go
All that
through.
cold air, all your air from outside comes from the makeup air.
Not this one. This is the
Well,
direct.
this is a long run. Those are
Yeah, that's why I'm asking the question, because we don't, if we're pulling outside air literally from right outside that wall, and it's 30 below, I just don't want to damage that coil. I'm wondering if we need to add some sort of safety if that involved in that, that would shut that
I know we
down.
talked about that. I couldn't we discussed that.
Yeah,
But
and I don't know if it does damage it anyway. I mean, it's a Freon loop, but
not.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
We'll have to check with the numbers, but we did discuss that at length with the nurse.
Okay.
It should be in that. Those are notes.
Okay.
These are all in this.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, I mean, I know just because of our history with those rooms, I'm not going to get the rooms cold.
Yeah.
Those rooms are always hot. I just don't want to damage any equipment. So it sounds like we'll be okay. Okay.
yeah, but there is one unit. I don't remember if it's first or second floor. I want to say it was one of the ones that. It was a tiny room, and I think it was one of the ones that we have on our list that they're alarming a little more frequently. But I mean, you reset this unit, and the space temperature would be like 77 degrees. And you reset this unit, the unit turns back on, and the space temperature instantly almost starts dropping down into the low 60s. So it's almost like there's just so many air exchanges in this room, and then it thinks that it's too cold, and it shifts back into heating mode, and kind of does this little tail wagging the dog. I mean, I think that's one of the ones that's on our list. But I mean, you can see the supply temperature. They get pretty cold in these guys.
Would that be kind of indicative of a faulty reversing valve too, maybe, or?
I think that they're just either your discharge is blowing right on your space temperature to where it's really affecting that unit, forcing it
Falsifying it.
forcing it to, as soon as it goes into cooling, it wants to go now back into heating. And you can see these cooling loops and heating loop here. You can see that 0 to 100% is basically telling you I'm in 100% cooling mode, and the heating side is obviously not doing anything. But Phil, are these compressors, do they are they able to load and unload, or are they just a single stage on?
It's THCs.
Because I know the controller gives me an actual percentage of how much it's in cooling and heating, 0 to 100%. But I don't know if physically that compressor has the ability to follow that, or if that's just some sort of calculation in the.
I think they're just a single stage.
That's what I thought too. Because when we feed down, how long back can I see like trains, like if I want to see a history, make a report?
You can set those up for literally infinite. They're being collected on the supervisor, which if your trends are being collected in the Jace itself, in the blue cabinet, then you're limited.
Okay.
Depending on how many points you have, there's a calculator for that. But if you're doing your trending on the actual supervisor, you can tell it how long you want to see.
So you have this set up on the supervisor?
Yeah, I think actually the trending is not currently set up, and it's something that you can let me know which points you want to see trended, and space time set points, things of that sort.
I think that was some of the things on REG's list they wanted to see.
Okay.
Trending
Alan may have done it then, because if it was on REG's list, because he was the one that was working with them on that list.
Well, it was on an email. It wasn't through that other log that you guys have been keeping, so I don't know if I've gotten to it yet. But okay. And then does that like say I set that up to does it automatically purge it at a certain point, or do I have to set all that up on the backside?
You can purge them manually at any time.
Okay.
I don't know if you messed with the history of a whole lot. But
I haven't. I need to. I mean, we look at them occasionally, but it seems like on other facilities that are on here, it varies a lot of how much I can see,
Yeah, there's a couple of different setups. If you set them up inside the supervisor explicitly, or you can set them up inside the Jaces, and the Jaces upload to the supervisor. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do it, and depending on how your contractor did or you've done it, then there are different options with it. But you can basically pull up your points and say, okay, I want to look at the last 7 days, and if that data is there, it will display it.
Yeah.
And then if you want to purge it, you basically go into your history and you go into database maintenance, and then this is where you can delete anything back behind a certain date, or if you want to get rid of a point entirely, you can do it here. But the supervisor, it's designed essentially to pull all that data, and we can pretty much keep it for infinite days, because it just doesn't take up that much of our space, even if you're already doing it.
Okay. So we can't do any of that yet on this building?
This building, it just doesn't have some of it enabled.
Okay.
But yeah, we can add it on here. And
yeah, because we use that a lot. That's our main troubleshooting is kind of looking back at histories.
Yeah. And I take that back, it looks like some of it is on here, so he may have already started doing that based on that email.
Okay,
You can see
closer there.
some of the points are on there. You can see how far back. Yeah, so you can see it got set up on this date here, so.
Okay.
27th, so like I said, Colin may have started putting some stuff in, it doesn't look like everything's definitely in there, but, so he may have seen whatever email it is that you guys are talking about. Other than that, we just have kind of a miscellaneous exhaust plans and a few other miscellaneous plans. The electric meters are on here. There's a fire panel status generator alarm. There's some exhaust fan 1, exhaust fan 3, unit heater and the Sally port. I think EF1 is the Sally port exhaust fan. That's the one that they're going to oxygen unit, air unit. And then EF3, I do not know.
Oh, that's the little guy, more.
Okay, that's the little guy that they were working on, but I don't know. Okay.
So those electric meters, that's like live electricity use kind of thing?
We're essentially monitoring pulses on that, and they haven't changed. So I'm going to take a look and see what why we're not updating pulses, if there's something that needs to be enabled on there or something.
Okay.
So,
And that'll have a history, like,
yeah.
but that one obviously I need to see a history.
Yeah, we've actually got a KW, like a 15-minute slice, 30-minute slice, and a 1 hour slice, and then it can keep, how much KW you used today, yesterday, last month, all of that data is already built into it. I don't think that the pulsing is quite right. So,
Okay.
I need to think of that, make sure it's put correctly, and if it is, then ask somebody else.
Okay.
Other than that, that's really all there is to it. The time schedule, we just have one schedule for the building, which we can keep like it is, or we can change it if you guys need to schedule different parts of the building differently. The unused areas, like if you're not using courtrooms or something like that, it might be nice to separate those out on different schedules, just to save a little bit of cash. But you can essentially just click on the schedule, and that's the occupancy schedule right now. But I don't know, you guys don't run Saturday and Sunday, do you?
No.
We
Yep, we can take those to unoccupied. Yeah. And then, so like if we're gonna set up, would we go to special events to set up a room, or how would we do that?
No, right now, everything is on one schedule.
Oh, okay, so we'd have to set up some new schedules.
Well, the units themselves, they've got a built-in push button on the stab, which is what you would use it under
Yeah, and that's a 1 hour override, or?
I don't know. I'm not sure what they do for that.
Okay.
That's not going to bring them out for me. It's not going to so it's also going to do this too.
That just warms that office. But like if I'm having that's fine for most of the things, but what if I'm having a big meeting that's going to be Saturday and Sunday, and here I'm going to need to make up air unit on.
Right.
So I probably just have to change the schedule and turn the whole building on at this point.
Either that, or what we could do is maybe put some additional code in there to where if the CO2 goes above a certain amount, then run the makeup air unit over
Unoccupied or occupied, doesn't matter. Okay.
so that if you have somebody